guys, what's up? It's Matt from Fierce Gaming, back today to talk about some more Overwatch. Today is a follow-up video on my 3-part series on which DPS and tank heroes have the most synergy with which support characters. Now last week we covered the former offense heroes, so if you haven't seen that, I'll leave a link in the video right now in the top right corner. Definitely go and check that out. But today, we're covering the former defense heroes. I know Blizzard have combined the two, but I went ahead and decided to split that way because it just seemed to be the most simple. Now last week we covered Doomfist, Genji, McCree, Pharah, Reaper, Sombra, Tracer, and Soldier, which means today in the lineup we've got Bastion, Junkrat, Hanzo, Mei, Symmetra, Widowmaker, and Torb. As always, if you enjoy the video, leave a like and subscribe. We try to release content once every Friday at 12 p.m. Central Time, so we're not going to blow up your subscription feed, just the best quality content here. If you have any subjects you'd like me to cover, just subscribe, leave a comment below, and I'll try to cover it. Right now, let's jump into it. We're going alphabetically today, so we're starting with Bastion. Like last time, there's going to be timestamps in the description, so if you're here for a specific hero like Widowmaker and don't want to jump around to find her, just look below. But I do advise you to listen to all of them, if nothing but to look at the other team and see where there might be some potential weaknesses. Let's get into it with Bastion. Now, when you think of Bastion, you think of Pirate Ship. He is the least mobile hero in the game, with the exception of him in tank mode. Now this means massive healing is usually needed. Ana, great choice, because of her Bionade means for a short time, he receives double the healing. He's almost invincible. Next, you got Mercy, who is by far the best healer with Bastion, because let's be honest, if you're playing Bastion, you're playing that pirate ship, that means there's gonna need to be a damage boost there to help break shields and win against the counter Bastion, and the mid-fight res means the ship can get its captain back after the enemy spent so much time and resources killing him. Moira is great in the pirate ship because essentially there are going to be a lot of large hitboxes very close together, making it very easy to get value from her primary heal. Lucio, Bridget, and Zenyatta are not the best healers for Bastion. They don't really heal fast enough, and Bridget doesn't have, the sustain that Bastion is going to need. They don't really have any natural synergy as well. Now, on a side note, after the Ana buff that's coming where she will instantly heal 300 health with her nano boost, she is going to be almost vital for the pirate ship to function. You're going to see a lot of comps that are focused around killing that Bastion first, and as soon as he gets low, you can nano him back to full health. Obviously, he's going to get the buff where he receives 50% less damage and does 50% more, which is going to be absolutely incredible, especially if he has his mobility ultimate, his tank mode. It's going to be incredible. Now, up next, we've got Junkrat. Now, I'm going to go ahead and say this to avoid being repetitive, but Mercy has a natural synergy with most of the defense heroes because the defense is where we're going to see a lot of burst damage, commonly at exactly, 120 damage. Junkrat's shot, Hanzo arrow, Widow shot, etc., etc. This makes damage boost incredibly powerful because it one-shots Tracer and almost completely drains other squishies' health in one burst. So, to avoid being repetitive, Mercy's damage boost combos very well with burst damage. Moving on to Ana, Junkrat is the most mobile defense hero there is. However, when singled out, Junkrat kind of has a hard time if landing his shots if people are actively dodging them, which means Ana's nano boost is, somewhat of a waste. Lucio's speed is great for hitting Junk right into a main tank's face and really bursting them down. And if you're running anti-dive, a rat might go well with a Bridget just for the crowd control, the ability to displace your enemies as much as possible, but there aren't really any synergies there. Moira is somewhat at a disadvantage because she has a hard time always being close to Rat, and when he's in the action, in the middle of moving, flying through the air, her ball's never going to be able to follow him because of those erratic movements. Now we come to Hanzo. Hanzo is the second Shimada brother, which means he can climb walls for reasons. He also has somewhat of a lunge ability, which makes him annoying to keep track of as an Ana. However, he is great at headshotting her sleeping targets, so that is a perfect option if you do sleep somebody as Ana. Just call over your Hanzo and put that 200 damage, the 240, 250 burst damage right into their head. Lucio's speed is somewhat underutilized as a Hanzo because they're generally in different places. That double sniper meta, you're not going to see a lot of Lucios getting value there. Moira is somewhat the same way. She can't get to a lot of the spots the Hanzos are, especially in the middle of battle. And you're going to see Hanzo retreating to high ground, climbing these walls, and Moira's just kind of going to be left there in the middle. Now, Regret is good for about one heal, but generally her passive won't affect Hanzo unless he is frontlining. Zenyatta is pretty good because the Discord allows Hanzo to burst tanks quickly, and his healing orb of 40 meters is almost always enough to find Hanzo wherever he is. Now on to Mei. Mei is almost an off tank with her wall capability, cryo freeze, and large health pool, which means she is incredibly tricky to kill with the right heals. Ana is a great choice for Mei because of her slightly bigger hitbox. However, most of Mei's damage lies within freezing a target and then headshotting them, all which takes a considerable amount of time and isn't sped up by Nano Boost, so I wouldn't advise that. But since Mei has her own healing and defensive abilities, Bridget is actually a pretty decent choice. They both fight on the front line, and when Mei needs to ice block, Bridget's passive really shows its potential, plus the occasional pack is plenty to sustain a skilled Mei. On to Torbjorn and his turret. Torbjorn combos well with Bridget in the fact that between the two, they can increase their team's health pool considerably before a fight. Ana is a decent choice for Torb because he is usually going to be located close to his turret within Ana's line of sight, and because of his rounder hitbox, he is incredibly easy to hit. Moira is also okay in this regard because of where Torbjorn will generally be located. She can usually throw her biotic orb to him, almost always actually. On the other side of synergy is Lucio and Zenyatta. Lucio's speed boost and healing aura won't really help Torb too much because of his defensive nature, and Zenyatta's slow healing is okay for Torb's larger health pool, especially because of his self-heal armor, but the lack of synergy lies in Zenyatta's Discord. Because of how Torb's turret prioritizes targets, being it shoots the first thing it sees until it can no longer see it or it dies, it's usually not going to be focusing the Discord. Now next up we have Symmetra. Since Symmetra's second major rework, we haven't really had enough time to truly figure out the perfect playstyle with her as a community just yet. However, one thing is clear: the days of her sitting in the back doing nothing until someone wanders into her microwave, they're over. She's become a frontline DPS there to punish slow shield mechanics and easy to track large hitboxes. She is very similar to Reaper, with one movement-based ability being her teleporter. She is great in the front with a Moira or a Mercy. She doesn't move around the battlefield to some odd locations at times, so Ana might not be able to see her all the time, but she also has the ability to teleport Ana behind enemy lines to anti-nade them and escape safely. What I'm really saying is all of her potential is yet to be unlocked, and anyone who really says, they know everything about her, the perfect playstyle, they're lying. They don't really know. It's going to take some time as a community to fully understand her and how to play her. So in the spirit of honesty, we're going to go ahead and move on. I'm not going to drop any tips or tricks there because honestly, we don't know. Finally, we come to Widowmaker. Now, Widowmaker has been a staple in high-level play for a while now, seeing some major changes to the meta, but always persisting. The only thing I have to say about a Widowmaker is you have to have a healer that can actually heal her. She's kind of like Pharah in that regard, and it's really only Mercy and Zen most of the time. Now, Mercy's damage boost is best utilized on Widowmaker, with her having the highest burst damage in the game at a potential 300 damage a second, with that one hit scan shot. Just make sure when you're playing Mercy, this is very important, you don't always give the Widowmaker's location away by attaching your beam to her. I see this all the time, even in some higher level ranked play. Widowmaker's trying to hide on the second point of Horizon Lunar Colony on the right side. She's the only one there, the rest of the team is frontlining, and a Mercy decides to look back, damage booster from 25 meters away, and the enemy Widow immediately knows where she's at. This really puts your Widowmaker at a giant disadvantage, so try to avoid doing that. That's about all we have for today, guys. As always, this has been Matt from Fierce Gaming. We really enjoy the fact that you're watching, you're subscribed. We appreciate that a lot. If you enjoyed the video and you're not subscribed, like I said, subscribe to the channel. Keep up to date with all our content. We're going to release a video every week, so we're not blowing up your feed with random videos you don't need to see. We're only giving you the highest quality content that we can come up with. Now, you can follow us on Twitter at Fierce Gaming OW. I'll leave a link below, but until next time, guys, have a good one, and I'll see you guys out there.